Gets him inside.
I cannot believe I am saying this, but baseball is back! Words cannot describe how excited I am for baseball season. If you told me like a month ago baseball season was even happening, I would have said you were nuts. I would have said you were drunk, high, all of the above, man. God, man, I was just terrified thinking about what my summer would have been like. But anyways, guys, enough with the chit chat. You guys came to see a video. With all the notable free agents now signed as I'm recording this video, I'm going to talk about my predictions of every team's record this year. Now, this video might be quite subjective because it's my opinion and a lot of you might disagree with what I think. But just remember, guys, it is just my opinion. Baseball is so unpredictable every year. My takes will probably be hot garbage. I mean, who really thought the Braves were going to win it last year after Acuna went down? All right, now that we got all of that out of the way, let's get started with the video. Start with the AL East.
Oh, and don't forget your Pepsi, guys. And Pepsi, please sponsor me.
Oh, this one's been sitting out for a while, so that tastes like garbage, man. All right, time to start the video. The Orioles. Oh, geez, where do I even begin with this team? This team is certainly going to compete for the worst record in the league yet again. I've heard a lot of people say the Orioles are going to improve next year, but I beg to differ. Just because Adley Rutschman will probably get called up this year does not automatically make your offense 1,000 times better. There are still way too many holes in your lineup. Also, are people forgetting about their pitching? They had by far the worst team ERA in 2021 and did not make any significant offseason moves to make their pitching any better. And finally, the Orioles arguably play in the toughest division in baseball. All four of the teams in their division made major moves to improve their roster. You guys suck. Expect another 100-loss season.
The Red Sox. I hate the Red Sox with a burning passion. I promise this ranking is not biased. Okay, maybe it is a little bit, but still, I don't think what the Red Sox did last year is sustainable. Last year, their offense was potent with guys like JD Martinez, Alex Verdugo, Kike Hernandez, Xander Bogaerts, and Rafael Devon. Now with Trevor Story in the mix, their offense should be even better next year, right? I don't think so. I expect their core to regress with JD Martinez turning 34. I also expect Trevor Story to struggle in his first year with Boston. I can't ignore their pitching either. It was average last year, and Chris Sale yet again is starting the season on the IL. You can't expect guys like Nick Pivetta and Garrett Richards to lead your rotation.
The Yankees. I honestly have no clue what to think about this team. On one hand, I've seen this team win over 100 games with a lineup that could get out-hit by my middle school team. Seriously, look at how many injuries they had in 2019. It's unreal. On the other hand, I've seen them barely make the playoffs with their whole roster healthy. So yeah, this prediction is really a toss-up. I could really see them getting 4th place in the division, but I can also see them winning the division. Regardless, they have no excuse to miss the playoffs with their immense talent. They arguably have the best team on paper in the American League with guys like Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, and Garrett Cole. Personally, I hope they suck this year because I hate the Yankees.
The Rays. Never doubt this team. No matter what starting rotation they have, no matter what lineup they throw out there, Kevin Cash will find a way to win. Dude is the best manager in the game today, besides that one time he took out Blake Snell too early.
Seriously, what the heck were you thinking?
But anyways, besides that one minor gripe, he's great at his job. I honestly might be underrating the Rays because they have a lot of young superstars this year, like Wander Franco and Shane Baz. Don't be surprised if they win their 3rd straight division title. The Blue Jays. Is this prediction a little too high? Absolutely not! This team is legit. They have a lineup that oozes talent from top to bottom. This lineup in 2021 finished 2nd in the league in team batting average and RBIs, while also finishing 1st in team home runs and OPS. I mean, this isn't very surprising. You got guys like Vladdy, Bo Bichette, Kevin Biggio, Teoscar Hernandez, George Springer, and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. And yes, I am aware they lost Marcus Semien, but it doesn't matter because they replaced him with one of the best third basemen in the league in Matt Chapman. He did struggle at the plate last year, but I guarantee you he bounces back with an OPS around 850 this year. Most importantly, they addressed their biggest need this year in the offseason, pitching. They lost reigning Cy Young winner Robbie Ray, but who cares? They potentially have a lethal six-man rotation in Kevin Gausman, Jose Barrios, Alek Manoah, Hyunjin Ryu, Yusei Kikuchi, and Nate Pearson. With this team just barely missing out on the playoffs last year, I don't see how that would happen again with how much better their team has gotten this year. Moving to the AL Central, the Royals. I want to believe the Royals will improve in 2022, but I just don't think it's possible. Every other team in the AL Central improved immensely this offseason, while the Royals really didn't make any notable offseason moves. The only reason their offense scored any runs last year was because of Salvador Perez's monster season. I guarantee you he doesn't repeat the season he had last year, and here's why. First, he refuses to walk, and second, his OPS plus was 126 last year, while in the past 7 years of his career, his OPS plus has been under 100 4 times. So yeah, their offense is going to be awful next year. I forgot to mention that their pitching also sucks. Y'all better hope Bobby Witt is the real deal. Sorry about that, guys. Some technical difficulties. Let me try that again. Hold on, guys. I think it's gonna work now. What the heck is going on? Wait a second. Oh, that's right. They changed their freaking name to the Guardians. Whatever, they're still the God! The Guardians have a chance at 2 awards this year. Jose Ramirez winning MVP and an award I made up for the worst logo in all of sports. Seriously, this is the best you could think of. You had 2 years. The Twins. What in God's name happened to you guys last year? You guys almost had an identical roster to the roster that won back-to-back AL Central titles. And then you guys proceeded to finish in last place in 2021. What caused this sudden collapse? Well, I have a few answers. First is their pitching. Their pitching in 2019 and 2020 wasn't good either, but it was especially bad in 2021. They had a bottom 5 team ERA. Second was the offense. While their offense was still great in 2021, it was not even remotely close to as good as it was in 2019-2020. Guys like Miguel Sano and Max Kepler were phenomenal in 2019, but ever since then, they have been trash. Another key contributor for the Twins was Eddie Rosario, and he went to Cleveland that offseason. Also, Byron Buxton yet again was hurt for most of the year. So yeah, everything that could go wrong for the Twins went wrong, causing them to trade Nelson Cruz and Jose Barrios at the 2021 trade deadline, signifying a rebuild. Or so I thought. The Twins then shocked the world this offseason by signing Carlos Correa. Do I think this signing makes the Twins a lot better? Absolutely, but I do not think it makes up for their garbage pitching. We'll see though. I would not be surprised if they bounce back and made the playoffs this year. The Tigers. Jesus Christ, Mason, you're gonna get flamed for this. Is my bias coming into play with this prediction? Oh, 100%, but I don't care. For the first time in years, I am actually excited about Tigers baseball. I believe this is for a good reason though. This team surprised everyone by winning 77 games in 21 with a young and inexperienced roster. This roster improved a ton in the offseason. Their offense has so many underrated players like Akil Baddoo, Robbie Grossman, Jeimer Candelario, and Jonathan Scope. They also added Javier Baez, which I honestly am not a fan of, but it's still a major upgrade over Nico Goodrow. Can we also talk about the pitching? There is so much young talent. You got Casey Mize, Tarek Skubal, and Matt Manning. They're all going to be future stars. They also added some solid veteran pitchers like Eduardo Rodriguez and Michael Pineda. I forgot to mention also that top prospects Spencer Torkelson and Riley Green will be on the team this year. Man, this team is going to be fun to watch. With AJ Hinch at the helm,
they will be in the playoff hunt for most, if not the whole season. The White Sox. After nearly 2 decades of frustration, the White Sox finally broke through in 2021 by winning the AL Central convincingly. Similar to the Blue Jays, this team's lineup has so much young talent, such as Jose Abreu, Tim Anderson, Yoan Moncada, Eloy Jimenez, Luis Robert, and Yasmani Grandal. What's even more terrifying is that their offense isn't even their biggest strength. It's by far their bullpen. It's arguably the best in baseball with a tandem of Liam Hendricks and Craig Kimbrell in the back end. They made their bullpen even better this offseason by adding national hero Joe Kelly to the mix. The White Sox should have World Series aspirations in 2022, with their only question mark really being their manager. Will Tony La Russa hold them back yet again this year? Now moving to the AL West, the A's. Hey, Billy, what's your plan this offseason? Carlos Correa is out of Houston, and the division is wide open this year. What big moves are we planning to make? I'm afraid the team is getting too expensive, Bob, so I am trading away our 3 best players, Matt Chapman, Matt Olson, and Chris Bassett. I'm sorry, what? Billy, can we talk about this? The deals have already been done, Bob. Besides, I've seen you take much worse rosters to the playoffs in the past. Just look at the 2013 team. Billy, are you out of your mind? We just barely missed the playoffs last year. A few more pieces and we could have been contenders this year. I mean, the division is wide open. With all the calculations I have made, we should be just fine, Bob. You know what, Billy? I'm tired of you being cheap. I'm going to the frickin' Padres. That is secretly a blessing. Less money. The Rangers. To put it nicely, the Rangers were bad in 2021. They had no offense and certainly no pitching. The one thing the Rangers do have going for them was that they had the noisiest offseason this year by signing Corey Seager and Marcus Semien. All of a sudden, they now have one of the best middle infields in all of baseball. I like the direction the Rangers are going in, but their pitching is still awful and they did not address it at all this offseason. Oh yeah, and Chris Woodward is a moron. The Angels. The Los Angeles Angels, Anaheim, are arguably the most disappointing team this decade in all of sports. Kind of reminds me of an LA team from another sport. But anyway, the Angels have the 2 best players in the league in Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout, and 0 playoff wins to show for it. This is downright inexcusable. Get some freaking pitching, Angels. Don't pretend like Noah Syndergaard is the answer. He is not good anymore. He gets hurt every time he steps on the field. I've hyped up the Angels for too long now just for them to suck every year. There is absolutely no way they make the playoffs in 2022. The Mariners. You know what I am sick and tired of hearing? Oh my god, the Mariners were so good last year. They should have made the playoffs. I'm sorry, but people who say this are morons and clearly did not watch a single Mariners game all year. The Mariners suck, and it's not only the eye test that backs this up, the stats back this up too. Look at that run differential. That is putrid. The freaking Rockies have almost the same run differential as them. The Rockies, one of the worst teams in the league. Do not even get me started on their team batting average. Oh my god. I'm going to be sick looking at this. Holy cow, that is bad. So now you guys are probably wondering, Mason, if you're crapping on the Mariners so much, why do you have them in second place? First off, the AL West this year is a dumpster fire. I do not see any of the 3 teams I mentioned behind the Mariners getting second place. Second, they have a lot of young talent that I think is going to step up this year. Guys like Jared Kelnick and Julio Rodriguez. And third, they made some nice offseason moves, like getting bounce-back candidate Eugenio Suarez, all-star Jesse Winkler, and most importantly, the reigning AL Cy Young winner, Robbie Ray. It's going to take a lot for the Mariners to repeat their magic from last year, but I think it will be possible due to a crappy division. Still won't be anywhere close to getting first place, though. The Astros. Okay, I promise I'm done with the stupid trash can jokes. I find those jokes super annoying because the last 2 years the Astros have proven that they don't need trash cans. This prediction should not surprise anyone, as this Astros team is almost the exact same as last year. Even without Correa, they still have their core intact with Jose Altuve, Yordan Alvarez, Yuli Gurriel, Alex Bregman, and Michael Brantley. Their pitching is also criminally underrated, as they were 8th in team ERA last year without their ace Justin Verlander. Speaking of Verlander, he is back and fully healthy this year, and I expect him to be dynamic at the young age of 38. The Astros still have a ton of firepower, but is it enough to get back to the World Series? I have my doubts, but we'll see.
Now moving to the National League East, the Nationals. To every Nationals fan, I am sorry for what you're about to go through this year. There aren't many rosters that have more holes than the Nationals. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I did not know half the guys on their roster towards the end of the year. It doesn't help that the other 4 teams in their division have the potential to win 80 or more games. The only reason I'm not giving them more losses is due to the sole fact that they have the best pure hitter in all of baseball in Juan Soto. I know he already has a ring, but do not waste the rest of his career, Nationals. The Marlins. In my opinion, the Marlins are one of the more intriguing teams of 2022. They arguably have the most slept-on starting rotation in the league, with dark horse Cy Young contenders Sandy Alcantara and Trevor Rogers. The question mark is their offense. It was horrendous last year, finishing bottom 5 in batting average, home runs, runs scored, OPS, and Ks. Going into this year, their biggest offensive threat is probably Jazz Chisholm. I don't know why so many people think he's going to be a future star. Yeah, he's fun to watch, but he's never been a great hitter in the minors. I don't know why that would suddenly change in the majors. Also, I don't think signing Jorge Soler changes this team very much. People are forgetting how awful he was for most of the season last year. The Phillies. This is another team I have no idea how good they're going to be this year. I could easily see them winning 90-plus games, but I could also easily see them being under 500. I am confident their lineup is going to be dangerous this year, with guys like All-Star JT Realmuto, Rhys Hoskins, who is way underrated, and reigning MVP Bryce Harper. He's also underrated, by the way. Oh yeah, they also went and spent big bucks on Kyle Schwarber and Nick Castellanos. Man, offensively, the Phillies look like World Series contenders. Let's go look at the... Oh my god, what is that bullpen ERA? So yeah, their bullpen is a dumpster fire, and their starting rotation is not much better. Yes, they have Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler, but the rest of the rotation is a bunch of nobodies. The Phillies are perennial underachievers, but this year, I think their offense is good enough to match their flaws at pitching. They will either grab the last wild card spot or just barely miss the playoffs. The Mets. This may be a hot take, but I'm going to say it. I don't care. The Mets have the second best roster in all of baseball.
Their lineup is very balanced with on-base machines Brandon Nimmo and Mark Canha. Speeding Starling Marte, who had a monster 2021 season, is in this lineup as well. You also have Francisco Lindor, who is going to go back to being a superstar this year. And most importantly, the Mets have Pete Alonso, who I think is going to be a dark horse MVP candidate this year.
And the pitching, well, it's even better. The Mets boast the best pitching duo baseball has ever seen, with the likes of Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer. They also acquired 2021 breakout pitcher Chris Bassett.
They honestly should win the NL East, but here's a simple reason of why I don't think they will. They're the Mets! This franchise is cursed, and deGrom is already missing at least a month this year. He'll probably run into some other unlucky circumstances as the season progresses.
The Braves. Who in the world expected this team to win the World Series last year after Acuna got hurt? I honestly didn't. I didn't even think they'd make the playoffs. But in the end, they won it, and they were one of the favorites to win the World Series last year, and they should be favorites again this year. Their roster is almost identical to last year, with the only notable change being Matt Olson instead of Freddie Freeman. While this is a slight downgrade, Olson is still an excellent player. I do think he hit a little over his head last year, but I still think he will have a great year. They will really be in business when Ronald Acuna Jr. returns. I know the Braves only won 88 games last year, but I think that was a fluke. Their run differential was one of the best in baseball last year, and it should translate to more wins in 2022.
Expect the Braves to win over 100 games this year.
Moving on to the NL Central, the Cubs. Over the last week or so, I've watched many MLB team predictions on YouTube, and you know what they all have in common? None of them are putting the Cubs in last place. I really do not understand why this is. I get the Reds and Pirates will both be awful this year, but at least Brian Reynolds, Brian Hayes, and O'Neill Cruz will lead the Pirates to at least 60 wins. And the Reds will at least score some runs with Joey Votto and Jonathan India in their lineup. They also have young phenom Hunter Green on the mound this year. What the heck do the Cubs have? I understand they signed Marcus Stroman, but how in God's name is this team going to score runs? Who's going to lead this offense? Frank Schwindel? He was a complete fluke last year. Just look at his career OPS in the minors. Patrick Wisdom? God, no. Have you seen how much that guy strikes out? He sucks. Seiya Suzuki, I think he'll be fine in the future, but this year, I think he's going to struggle. Wilson Contreras, he's probably their best player, but he really has not been a good hitter since 2017. I also want to mention that the Cubs only won 71 games last year with Javier Baez, Chris Bryant, and Anthony Rizzo on that team for half the year. Now that y'all have heard what I've had to say, is anyone not picking the Cubs to get last place still? No? Right, that's what I thought. The Pirates.
Baez hits it on the ground to third. Gonzalez. This is so good. Oh my goodness! Wow! You got to be kidding me! You've got to be kidding me! They stole a run. You have got to be kidding me, Javi Baez. Keep going. Go. Go. Think you're invisible. El Mago indeed. That is unbelievable. That is incredible.
The Reds. Congratulations, Reds. You once again are going to finish third place in your division. Too bad you traded your entire roster away. Nick Castellanos, gone. Eugenio Suarez, gone. Jesse Winkler, gone. Sonny Gray? I bet you can guess what word goes in the blank here. I mean, seriously, Reds, what the heck were you guys thinking? The division was wide open this year. The NL Central is by far the worst division in baseball in 2022. You know, honestly, the Cubs, Pirates, and Reds records are all interchangeable. I know I gave reasons why the Cubs would be the worst team out of all the three of them earlier, but honestly, it's a toss-up. They all absolutely suck. The Cardinals. I don't think there's a team more mid than the 2022 Cardinals. I mean, I don't know. I just never hear anything about them. Anyways, their offensive core is stellar with Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt, who is still elite. I don't know why everyone just forgot about him when he left Arizona. They also have a very underrated outfield, arguably the best in baseball, with Tyler O'Neill, Dylan Carlson, and Harrison Bader. While the offense is definitely good, the pitching is suspect. Jack Flaherty is their ace, and don't get me wrong, he's really good. I just swear though, he's made of frickin' glass. When he inevitably gets hurt, who are the Cardinals gonna turn to? Don't you dare give me Adam Wainwright. The dude is 40. He will not repeat his miraculous 2021 season. There is really no depth at pitching other than those two. They also didn't do jack squat this offseason to improve. So yeah, the Cardinals will be very average, just like last year. I know they went on a 17-game winning streak last year, but come on, they were not that good. That was a complete fluke. The Brewers. The Brewers will win this division by at least 10 games in 2022 with over 95 wins. They easily have the best starting pitching in all of baseball, with reigning Cy Young winner Corbin Burns, Freddie Peralta, and Brandon Woodruff. Oh yeah, they also have the best reliever in baseball. His name is Josh Hader, also known as Andrew Miller 2.0. Yeah, he's pretty good too. This team will shut out a lot of teams in 2022, but will they score enough runs? Willy Adames was this team's entire offense last year. Willy Adames. I get he's an all-star caliber player, but he should not be the best hitter on your team. So how can their offense improve in 2022? It's a simple answer. Christian Yelich. The Brewers' offense runs through Yelich, and without him, the offense has no identity whatsoever. Yelich doesn't even have to be a superstar like he was 3 years ago. He just has to hit like he did in Miami. I don't think he's going to improve personally. He's been hot garbage the last 2 years. If he somehow does improve, this team will easily win over 100 games due to how weak of a division they play in. Moving on to the NL West, the Diamondbacks. What in tarnation? 110 losses? 110 losses. You guys don't deserve to be a baseball team anymore. Get Ketel Marte out of there. The Rockies. I legitimately think people with an IQ of a rock are running the Rockies front office. You basically paid the Cardinals for Nolan Arenado, did not even try to re-sign Trevor Story, but then go out and hand Chris Bryant a massive contract? Why didn't you just keep Arenado? I don't know why I'm looking into this so much, because it doesn't matter. Their pitching is still terrible, and it probably will always be due to Coors Field.
The Rockies blow.
The Giants. Hands down the biggest fluke in the history of sports. Don't believe me? Well, let me tell you, all the guys who sucked for years, who all of a sudden were amazing last year. Buster Posey, Kevin Gosman, Anthony DeSclafani, Brandon Crawford, Evan Longoria, Darren Ruff, Austin Slater, Lamont Wade Jr. Oh, there's definitely more, but it would take 30 years to list all the guys. So why do I have them being good still? Well, even though I said they were a fluke, there's no way a 107-win team in 2021 is suddenly just going to suck again. I also believe their starting pitching is excellent. Logan Webb is a legitimate ace, and they made some nice offseason moves, signing guys like Matthew Boyd and Carlos Rodon. I honestly have no idea what to expect from the Giants this year. I think they'll make the playoffs. I just don't see them beating the Dodgers in the division again. The Padres. Last year, the Padres season collapsed, just like Fernando Tatis wrist while riding a motorcycle. So am I the only one who thinks Tatis is overrated? Dude is always hurt, and this year is no exception. He is already expected to miss 3 months. This is a huge loss, but I think the Padres will survive. They are still Slam Diego. Manny Machado and Jake Cronenworth were fantastic last year, and I expect that to continue this year. Phil Myers and Luke Voigt are other solid bats in this lineup. Their lineup is deep, but their pitching is a complete wild card. Yu Darvish and Blake Snell have to bounce back. They now also have Mike Clevinger and Sean Manaea. If these guys all pitch to what they are capable of, the Padres will return back to the powerhouses they were in 2020. However, I don't think everyone who sucked last year will bounce back, which is why I'm giving them 90 wins. The Dodgers. I'm just going to be real with y'all. This team's going to win the World Series. Easily, too. They by far had the best roster in baseball last year, and they added Freddie Freeman this year. Are you kidding me? But, yeah, I don't think anything else needs to be said. That's all I got, guys. Dodgers are winning the 2022 World Series. Yep. All right, guys. This wraps up the video. Thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot. I know this is coming out a few games late, but this just took a while to make with how busy I've been lately. I have been working on videos, but I just kind of chip away day by day because I'm so busy. But yeah, things have probably changed since I've recorded certain parts, but that's okay. My predictions are still the same. I hope one of these predictions I made is right, but they probably won't be. I think some of my takes are pretty awful, but I don't really care. Leave a comment what you guys think, and yeah, thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like the video, and cheers. Oh yeah, I'm also going to say the next thing you're about to see is my playoff predictions, what seeding every team is going to be, and sleeper team that I think a lot of people are underrating, I guess, this year. But yeah, that's all I have. Again, thank you guys. This took a lot of effort to make, so please show some love if you'd like to see more of this content. Love you guys. Thank you.